Porn, partners, and rejection. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, Cognitive Neuroscientist and Sex Addiction Recovery Coach. In this video, I want to talk about those three things. First, we're going to talk about porn and the impact that it has on how you perceive yourself and how you perceive a potential partner or your partner. And it's not good. So stay tuned for that. And then number two, what we're going to talk about is your partnership. So if you're, these are the three options that we're dealing with when we talk about partners. Number one, you have no partner and you want one. And I have found, I talk to hundreds, thousands of people, honestly, now, but I talk to people all the time about their porn use. And my first question is, not first, but a first question is, do you have a partner? And it's either yes or no. Then if they say no, I say, do you want a partner? Every time, actually, it's 10 out of 10 times, the answer is yes. People usually want partners. So your choice is you do not have a partner and you want one. You do not have a partner and you do not want one. And usually it's either that culturally you're not able to have a partner or have a partner yet. And I've talked about that in other videos, so I'm going to touch upon that but jump over it. Most people who don't have partners want one. So if you fall into that very small percentage of people who don't want a partner, then I'll have a little ditty for you, but we're gonna move on to the third group is people who have partners. So we're gonna think about porn, how it shows up in finding or having a nice partnership. And then lastly, we're gonna talk about rejection, because I know rejection's a really big thing for people who are trying to find a partner, or if you have a partner and the dynamics are all thrown off likely because of pornography use and how it shows up in your life, and you might not even know, that rejection can be part of that, especially if you are initiating sex a lot and you're being rejected, it shows up in your life and your relationship. So we're going to talk about that. So let's dig in. Number one, how does porn impact the way that you view yourself and your partner? Okay, well, we know that porn use increases infidelity by 300%. So essentially what happens is you find your partner less attractive. That's not good for anybody, obviously, because if you are less attracted to your partner, then that shows up in your physical relationship. We also know from the science that pornography use creates body image issues for men themselves. So men, more than any other time in history, have a poor body image. Their self-worth is being decreased, their self-esteem. So if you fall into that boat, you're not alone. We know that the numbers are going up on people who have more shame around their body because of the porn that they're viewing. Porn is making you view yourself and your partner in worse light. There's no benefit from consuming it in terms of how you see yourself or your partner. So let's go to group number one. If you're a person who's going out in the world trying to find a partner, now you think worse about yourself and all the real women. I'm going to stick to women, but if you're attracted to other partners, you can extend it to other partners. You go out in the world and you're looking for a new honey, and now all the women that you see are less attractive to you because of the people that you see in porn. So, what might have been a 9 out of 10 if you didn't consume porn, now is a 3 out of 10. So that is damaging. Porn use is damaging your ability to perceive people in their true light. And it goes back to objectification. You're just seeing people as objects for dopamine hits for your pleasure. It goes back to that women in the real world can't live up to the seeming ideals of porn performers. So it changes the way you see people. And it's not going to help you attract a healthy partner. I just got done making a video on emotional intelligence, on ditching porn for the perfect partner. That video, it's a little long, but at the end of that video, I talk about emotional intelligence and how you can become more attractive by becoming your true authentic self. And when you do that and porn's not in the picture, you feel better about yourself because you're like, I'm my best self and I'm rocking out my best life. Now I'm going to go into these social situations. I'm going to be able to vibe a person who's rocking out their best life as a healthy version of themselves, and you'll connect with that person. It will have dopamine, it'll have serotonin, it'll have oxytocin to connect you. And that won't happen for all the people in the room. It'll happen for that person that you feel connected to. And I have so many funny stories from when I was young and vibrant, right? And when I first started, actually, I wasn't dating my husband. I owned restaurants back in the day. I don't know if I've shared that, but I owned restaurants. So I was behind the bar at my restaurant, and I was talking to one of the distributors who I didn't know was crunching on me, but ended up that he was crunching on me. And my husband said he would sit across the room. He wasn't my husband at the time. I didn't know him. He would come in a lot, as you could imagine. That's how he became my husband. But he would sit across the room and he'd watch me laugh with this distributor. And he's like, I would just come for lunch to watch you laugh because that's when you'd have that distributor meeting. Funny story is when my husband and I got together, I had a party and I invited that distributor just in a friendly way. And he totally thought he was coming over to hook up with me or whatever, and shows up with like flowers and wine. And it's a big party. It's like a lot of people. And my husband then was my boyfriend, so the whole thing didn't turn out. But okay, I digress. Moving on to, that distributor probably was using lines and things like that to try to be with me. Unhealthy version where my husband's just sitting over there watching me laugh because the connection between us was building. And, there's lots of stories of we had this connection before we entered into a sexual relationship. Not that you want to know that, but definitely even a relationship. I kept telling him for probably too long that we became friends, and then he wanted to be with me. And I'm like, we can't, my friend, because if we become friends, then we'll break up. And I like you too much that I don't want to not be able to be in your world. So no, I will not be dating you. And then he just showed up one day in my driveway, and that was the beginning of the end. But that was a long time after I kept saying, no way, my friend. But he was persistent, and it's going to be our 20th anniversary. So that's a cool thing. But that is a healthy way of trying to connect with a person because we both were working on being our true authentic selves. And then you can show up and you're attracted to that person. Okay. Number 2, let's move on to if you don't have a partner and you don't want a partner. What I want to tell you about that is a lot of people who say, I'm fine with porn because it's so much easier than women. They're just going to take your money. Women are a lot of work. They'll end up not wanting to have sex with you. That's all, hooey. I just saw a movie where they use the word hooey. That's not my word. That's not true. That's all rationalizing, minimizing, justifying. None of that is true. So if you're telling yourself that, dig deep and think, am I just making up excuses to keep watching porn and not put the effort into becoming a better version of myself and getting my booty out into the world to attract a better partner? Because if you've fallen down into that, that's very unhealthy to go, I'm just going to watch people having sex on the screen and have sex by myself for the rest of my life, instead of taking this massive transformational journey opportunity, which is what life's about, to become a better version and to create an amazing life in the real world. That's just an excuse, I'm here to tell you. So if you're about to write that in the comments, it's just an excuse. You know it at some level. People want connection. I just read a comment from someone this morning that said, I didn't believe if I left porn behind that I would actually find a woman. Guess what? I'm in a relationship now with a woman. I forgot how good it feels to be with a woman, but not only for sex. I forgot how good it is just to laugh with a woman and spend time with a woman. People want connection. So people want partners. Partnerships they're tricky, but they're amazing. It's the spice of life. Okay, number 3, if you have a partner, you might have forgotten that your partner is the spice of life, because partnerships are tricky. So I know that's circular, but if you have a partner and you're consuming pornography, it's making you think worse of your partner. I'm here to tell you that's proven by science. So when you leave porn behind and when you get deliberate and you get intentional on treating your partner better, treating yourself better, you'll find that the dynamics in your relationship will change. And I encourage you to watch the video on ditching porn for a perfect partner, because there's all the strategies and what you need to know about the dynamics that get thrown off because of porn use. We know that porn creates more anger and irritability, so you might not be showing up as the best version of yourself. If you show up as the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because the hijackers got your brain, your partner's aware of that. They don't know what's going on, but they know they don't like that one that shows up when you're being less than desirable. And that really throws dynamics off. It might throw your partner into her junk. And so now you've got her, doing her thing, being mad or cold shouldering or not having sex with you. porn use shows up in the bedroom. It shows up as your desire to do the things that you see in the screen, which isn't things that real women want to do. So women can perceive that. They can perceive when you're with them and when you're not, when you're just using their bodies for your pleasure from something else that you have experienced. It's palpable to a woman in that situation, and they usually don't want any part of it. So if your sex life is struggling, if your relationship is struggling, porn is at the root of it. And of course, then there's dynamics that can improve, and that's what the other video is about. So think about that, because you might have an amazing partnership that just needs some work. And if you can adios porn from your life, your partnership will be better with intention. Now we're moving into Valentine's Day. I'm going to make a short video on this, but moving into Valentine's Day, I encourage you to think about this and go out of your way to share your feelings with your partner, become vulnerable, do something nice, plan something for your partner. It will surprise her and it will be good for you. Okay, let's move on to rejection. Rejection, here's what I'm here to tell you about rejection. Rejection in a possible relationship. So let's say you go out into the world and you're feeling all healthy and you're vibing someone and they reject you. That's a blessing in disguise. You might not know it in the moment, but if somebody rejects you, it's because it's not right. If it was right, that vibe, that energy would keep going up, and that attractiveness between the two of you would be magnetic to a certain extent. It's not the movies, but you would feel it where it would be right. If it's not right, it's not right. And if someone rejects you, be glad that you are able to be in that experience now on day one, instead of 2 years from now when you have time and energy invested in a relationship that wasn't right for you. Be glad at that rejection and know that as you continue on this journey, you're going to become a better version of yourself and the right person will come to you. It doesn't have to be the right person forever. It can be the right person for now. So just know that, if someone rejects you, you don't have to take that to heart. You don't have to let that damage you. Let that be a sign for you that isn't right and it's time to get back on the horse again. Now, here's what I'm here to tell you about rejection too, is that self-rejection is very damaging. And so if you're rejecting the true authentic version of yourself that's in there, you won't be able to handle other people's rejection, because you will be searching for the validation from those other people that you are not giving yourself. That's why rejection from other people hurts so bad. And, I've experienced this in my own life, and generally speaking, I have pretty high emotional intelligence. So if even now in friendships or in relationships that come my way, if I get rejected, I go, you know what? I'm okay without that person. Or even sometimes with my husband, when he will say things and I'll be like, I'm okay with that. You don't have to feel that about me. I bought a bathing suit and I tried it on and in my closet, and I go, I'm returning it. I don't like it. And he's like, put it on. Let me see how it looks. I'll tell you if you should return it. I go, babe, I don't even need you to tell me. I already know I don't like the way that it feels on me or looks on me. What you have to say about that won't change that. That's what happens when you can validate yourself from within. You can wear things that make you feel good. You don't need other people to tell you you look great, because you feel great and you look great to yourself, and that's what matters the most. And so when you have that on the inside, when other people reject you, it simply doesn't hit the nervous system as it does when you reject yourself and you need others' validation. So I encourage you to look within and start growing up that self-validation. Wear things that make you feel good. Do things that make you feel strong and healthy from the inside, so that, if somebody throws a stone at you, you got it, because you're strong and healthy from the inside. Okay, I hope that helps you out. And if you're looking for help on your journey, leaving porn behind, please reach out to me, drtrishleigh.com. And as always, control your brain or it'll control you.